Thank you very much, Ajay sir, for speaking to PTI today. So, finally, the day has come when India and UK they have settled the free trade agreement today itself. The news has come in, and we have been trying since long time to work out this trade deal. So, how do you see this the trade deal that has happened today in terms of its impact on the Indian economy and Indian trade? So, what does this really mean for our economy?
Thank you very much. In fact, this is a memorable day. This is a milestone in the history of Indian exports and Indian economy also. As you told, definitely it's a multifaceted agreement where we are not only just looking into trade, both goods and services export, but also investment as well as global value chain formation. So, from that perspective, an extremely important agreement. I would like to compliment and congratulate both the Honorable Prime Minister and the Commerce Minister in particular, who visited UK twice in the last 10 days and put a lot of hard work along with the officers of the Ministry of Commerce so that we are seeing such a important agreement. And we hope that this agreement will also act as a template for further negotiating the EU free trade agreement with India. There are a number of important initiatives which have been taken, both from the perspective of Indian exports as well as from the perspective of UK exports, which makes it a truly mutual beneficial agreement. And I'm pretty sure that both the sides will be extremely happy with the finalization of this agreement.
So, which products do you think that we trade with UK and UK that exports to India and India that exports to US? So, which are these products that are basically going to be going to be impacted the most?
In fact, as the agreement says that they have offered us zero duty on 99% of the tariff line, which covers 100% of our exports. So Indian exports will be enjoying zero tariff on all the products. We will benefit it both in the labor intensive sectors of exports, more so in some of the sector where we were losing out our market because some of our competitors, for example, in apparel sector, Bangladesh being the LDC, enjoying zero duty in UK, and Vietnam having an FTA with UK was having zero duty. So we will see much gain coming in apparel and textile sector, footwear and leather, marine products, gems and jewelry, toys, and even in the sunrise sector, whether we are talking about the auto component, integrated circuits, or we are talking about the ignition engine, we are talking about the pharmaceutical, organic chemicals, we will gaining a lot. And this kind of benefit is not just only confined to the goods part. Even in the services, a lot of benefit will flow, particularly with the free mobility, because the immigration has been a pretty challenge in the services. And in this agreement, we are seeing the kind of free mobility which is being provided at least for 3 years, where the social contribution need not to be made even by the companies or the employee, will benefit the services sector a lot. We are likely to gain in IT services, professional services, financial services, and business services across the board. And probably from their perspective also, we will see that many of the US goods, particularly if you are talking about the aeronautical products, electrical goods, cosmetics, we are also seeing reduction in duty on whiskey engine. Cars may also be allowed with some kind of quantitative ceiling at the lower tariff. They will also be gaining a number of the services sector, also particularly the financial services. So probably this is an agreement which is fairly balanced, looking into the interest of both the sides. And this kind of agreement probably will also help India to negotiate the FTA with any large economies, not only with the EU, but even in a way, it may be some kind of a guiding force for negotiating the BTA, which we are currently doing with US.
Actually, my question was regarding that only that because earlier you said that we can get into a deal with US, EU as well. So because of the tariff tension that is going around the US, Donald Trump's tariffs and everything, and we are still in talk about the bilateral trade, and President Trump has also said that we might enter into a good deal with India, and India is also hopeful for that. So what kind of, when can we see that happening with the US and EU, according to you?
With the US, I think we have various round of negotiations. We are moving very fast. We are hoping that before the pause for the reciprocal tariff comes into effect, that means 10th of July, we will be able to carve out an FTA with the US, at least on the tariff front, because completing the entire BTA by July will be extremely difficult. And the deadline for that is, in any case, by fall of 2025. There are sensitive area which may be involved into that. The present challenges with regard to the tariff, and therefore, if we are able to carve out a BTA on the tariff front in the first instance, it will benefit India a lot, because we are seeing huge number of inquiries coming to India. Many of the buyers are just inquiring at this point of time because we are not sure what will be the tariff after 9th of July. So if in the meantime we are able to get a BTA with the US, at least on the tariff part, we will be a huge gainer. And probably that will push India's export, particularly at a time when China is having very high tariff on them. China has not been given any exemption. There will be friction which is expected between China and US in next 3 to 4 years also. So probably we are moving in a very positive direction, and we are hopeful that we will be able to get at least one tranche of the BTA by July 2025.
Okay. So also one question regarding the global tension, plus the kind of tension that we are facing with Pakistan. Now, Pakistan at this point of time, everybody is denying any kind of money to Pakistan, and Pakistan is also trying to get money from other countries and everything, but nobody is ready to invest in them. Now, with this kind of deal that we have established with the UK. So what do you think would be the psychological impact on Pakistan with this?
No, definitely it's a huge encouragement for India, and to that extent, it will be a huge disappointment for Pakistan. We are seeing that this kind of deal will definitely make in India an ideal choice for UK companies. And a lot of UK companies who may be selling to the EU or who may be looking into selling in the domestic market also will definitely be now looking into India very closely. Many of them will come to India because India can also be used as a hub for global exports. And with so many free trade agreements, recently only we have signed agreement with UAE, Australia, AFTA country. We are now negotiating very closely with Oman, Chile, New Zealand, EU. And I'm also expecting that the EU probably, if not by the end of December, maybe by next year, we will be able to frame up the free trade agreement. And these agreements are quite comprehensive. They are not just talking about the trade, they are talking about the investment, they are talking about the government procurement. And therefore, these kinds of comprehensive agreements, in a way, give a boost to Indian economy. And probably these will also help us to look towards a 5 trillion and 10 trillion goal much before what has been anticipated for.
Okay. So my last question is regarding the timeline that you kind of mentioned by the end of your answer. So how much time does it take for these agreements to become actually operational, to be implemented on ground in reality? So how much time do we have to consider while thinking that the agreement will come into effect from probably the timing that you think is, or we can fast track probably the FIEO as well?
I think when you are talking about the timelines for this kind of agreement, which has been finalized now, there will be legislative process involved, there will be implementation issues, and it will be fair to give 90 days time for the agreement to take off. Though I know that for fully utilizing the benefit which is being offered, companies will be revisiting to look into UK market more closely. There may be realignment of supply chain also happening. So a fair outcome assessment should be taken 3 years down the line, but agreement should take off within 90 days.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ajay Sir, for speaking to me. It's a pleasure getting insights from you on this great topic. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.